parts needed in Sector Wars. Play Astro Blaster.
If you destroy my baby,
Intruder alert. The intruder must not escape.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight.
you will be a torpedo.
Prepare to qualify.
Oh, warrior needs food badly.
Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and I'm back to requests, and this time we're going to look at the game Nemo, created by Capcom in 1990, and this was suggested by YouTube user Arctic Dreamers Rapture, and this is a 1 or 2 player simultaneous play game based on, well, originally there was a character called Nemo in comic strips from 1905 to 1927, but also an anime film in Japan in 1989 called Little Nemo in Slumberland, which this is more based off of. But I had never seen this in arcades. It's a side-scrolling action platformer type of game. You control Little Nemo as player number 1, or as player number 2, you can be a character known as Flip, and he's kind of a clown. And you can destroy various little treasure chests to get either power-ups or bonus point items. And there's various toy-like enemies that you'll face off against. And you just keep scrolling to the right here until you reach the boss at the end. And various Capcom icons that appear in other Capcom games make an appearance here. There's the Yashichi, and there's a unicorn from UN Squadron or Area 88. And that is a smart bomb that makes all the enemies die on the screen at once. And there's, I think there's a character from Sidearms, another Capcom classic that's in this, and that just gives you bonus points. But we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, I've never seen this in arcades. I've never read the old comic strip, which was several decades before me. I've never seen the anime film either. But it's typical of Capcom games. It's got really detailed, beautiful graphics, decent enough action. It's alright. There's various items that can give you a stronger attack with your scepter. The Yashichi will allow you, I think, to have a stronger zap to your scepter, and it can take out multiple enemies at once. And on this stage, we have a toy train that you ride, and there are a total of 7 stages. We have a bunch of blimps that attack you. Nemo can duck and crawl. You press down and hold left or right, and you'll crawl to the left or right. We have these toy soldiers that also attack you. And yeah, there's the Yashichi from Capcom. That allows you to plow through a bunch of enemies with one hit. And there we picked up Candy, and Candy will give you energy back. Note that you have a life bar at the bottom left. Yeah, this is more based on the anime film than the old comic strip. This is the first boss. And try to avoid the missiles that they shoot at you. And just destroy one tank and then the other tank. And you'll hear a little warning tune when you're really low on energy. If you beat the stage, you'll get all your vitality restored. Some kind of goofy cutscene between each stage. That might have been the sidearms item that I picked up, and you just get bonus points. You can throw a barrel and take out multiple enemies with one single barrel. You can keep scrolling to the right, and it might keep hitting more enemies. Unfortunately, you don't get a major bonus. You have to duck and move here to get under that wall. But and there was the unicorn from Area 88, or UN Squadron, and that is a smart bomb, and it'll take out all the enemies on the screen at once. And there it is again. Note that there's little baby spiders on these gears, and I just jumped on them. Whoops. A lot of enemies you can actually jump on and kill. Not all of them. Perhaps not bosses. And speaking of bosses, we're just about to face another one. And if you're careful, this guy is actually quite easy. Just don't let that pressing hand grab you. Move out of the way. You've actually got plenty of time to get out of the way. You know, as long as it doesn't actually grab you. The hand can go through you if it's still descending. But then just get out of the way. You can throw some objects that appear on this conveyor belt and throw them at the boss. Otherwise, just move close and keep whacking him with your scepter. And that's the end of that stage. Yeah, Flip will appear... What? Flip will appear on the screen via some kind of bird. You can climb down on these little platforms here. And Nemo will appear on the screen via a bed, because he's asleep when he enters this Slumberland. The first stage is called King Morpheus, and he is the king of Slumberland. And you need to destroy this bad guy at the end of the Nightmare King to save Slumberland and receive the adoration of the princess. But yeah, here and there those treasure chests will appear, and you can hit them with your scepter and get some sort of helpful item or bonus points. Oops. Right, though that unicorn will be a smart bomb. And here is this boss, and this boss is kind of a pain in the butt. You can pick up these stars and throw them at the cloud boss. There will also be a black cloud that will appear, and it will shoot lightning. And you'll want to get rid of it. It'll reappear a little bit later. I had a little trouble trying to determine the flight pattern of the white cloud. You can hit his tail and still hurt him. But yeah, his flight pattern is a little tough to get used to. And he can hit you with one of the clouds in his tail. Oops. Yeah, that black cloud can be a pain in the butt. So try to get rid of it when you can. Ah, damn it. See, he appears on a bed. There was an NES port of Little Nemo game, but it played a lot different than the arcade. I have not played that one, I don't think. But it was called Little Nemo the Dream Master, I think. Yeah, you can hurt the white cloud by hitting his tail. Oh boy, he stopped just before he could hit me. But yeah, notice his face. If he's looking at you in your direction when he stops, he's going to move towards you. So maybe you can get behind him and he'll not go towards you that way. Alright, killed him. Boy, that was close. But remember, you get all your vitality restored if you can destroy the boss. And this stage is the police station, and there's these toy police that will attack you. And in this stage, you can really send a barrel through multiple enemies. It kind of sucks that the value doesn't increase with each one you hit. It's always going to be 200 points. Now we have a ton of these soldiers dropping down via balloon, and dogs too. You have to duck and crawl under that wall there. Crap. Yeah, you can bounce on a lot of enemies' heads. Not all, and probably not bosses either. But if you can bounce on multiple enemies, one after another, then you can get an increasing bonus for each one you bounce on. You gotta watch these spikes, these rotating spikes, and make sure that they don't hit your head or stab your feet. There, I got some vitality back, so I don't have to hear that annoying alarm. I hope you had a good Memorial Day, folks. Today was Today was fairly laid back for me. I didn't do a whole lot today. I did more stuff yesterday and the day before. It's time well spent off. That's the end of that game, so I'll put in my initials, but I will do a bit of a playthrough for the rest of the game. Hope you got all the stuff you wanted to do this Memorial Day weekend if you got the extra day off. And yeah, I'll do a playthrough, or almost a playthrough. I skipped some parts of the rest of the stages, and like I was saying, there are 7. The first stage is called King Morpheus, the second is called Slumberland, the third is called Big Balloon, the fourth is called Police Station, the fifth is called Nightmare Land, the sixth is called Nightmare Castle, and the seventh is called Nightmare King. And like you noticed earlier, there's the Yashichi in this game, which acts as a power-up. It gives you a more powerful scepter. And here is the boss of the police station stage, and it's just a big old gear that you can hit. You have to hit multiple times. I put on invincibility at this point. I just wanted to beat the game as quickly as possible. Yeah, I don't know what all Capcom icons make an appearance in here. other than the ones I've already mentioned. And there's another one that gives you a stronger scepter attack and turns you red. And that's the end of the Stage 4 boss. And again, Stage 5 is called Nightmare Land. And I think this is the one where you end up on a boat. Hey Flip, we should go back now. This door has the same symbol as the one on this key. We shouldn't open this door. Oh, come on, let's just have a quick look. Oh no, that's Nightmare Slime. Okay. That there is the king and the princess of Slumberland, I'm guessing. King Morpheus. And I don't know what the princess's name is. But this reminds me of some of the Castlevania games. It's got mermen jumping out of the water. The blue ones take a couple more hits than the green ones. You can climb up the mast or whatever on the left and right and up the ladder. You don't have to do that yet though. Now you have to get up to this, at least the platform there. And when you see the arrow, that means that your dirigible is going to sink even further. Or your boat, excuse me. And now it's going to sink completely, so you have to jump on this rotating ball, and you have to move to stay on top of it, or you'll slip off and fall in the water and die. And it'll start moving fast. At some point, it might be best to just keep hopping and position yourself as you land from the hop. And eventually you'll get to land and jump off onto the land and leave this floating ball or whatever it is behind. And you get to this kind of forest area, and you'll see these trees. There'll be a kind of a harbinger of what you're going to see later, and there's another Yashichi. The boss is a tree. And here is where you can, there's another Area 88 or a UN Squadron unicorn. And here is where you can get a lot of accruing point bonuses, excuse me, once you pass this area. Climb down these trees and go to the right and you'll face the boss. But there will be miniature trees or tree stumps or something that you can bounce on repeatedly for an accruing bonus. And there's one of those little mini tree stumps, or miniature trees or whatever. Yeah, they don't. There's a life bar, and it says what the boss's name is, and it's not even really a boss name. It's just a 5-round boss. But yeah, here you can just repeatedly bounce on those little trees and get an accruing bonus. Just don't let the big tree touch you. This game's okay. It's not real special, I don't think. I mean, it's kind of typical of Capcom games, but hey, the graphics are always really nice, and the music's very good. The action's decent, I can't complain too much. Now we'll go to Stage 6, which is Nightmare Castle. Well, I thought they called it a round, because it said round 5 boss. I guess they don't know for sure. And here you can climb up the stalagmites and get to higher floors. There's a couple slimes. The boss of this stage will be a slime, and he'll try to suck you towards him. Bunch of golems you can kill. Yeah, Nemo kind of makes me think of, you can't destroy these boulders. Nemo kind of makes me think of, there was an old kids book, very controversial kids book from the early 70s called In the Night Kitchen, and it had a character named Mickey. And he got completely in the buff numerous times in the book. I mean, complete full frontal and everything. I was just like, what? It's very disturbing. And yeah, generated a lot of controversy, but Mickey looked a lot like Nemo. Except Nemo has clothes on. Yeah, this is the boss. It looks like kind of a mix of Mother Brain and from Metroid and the eggplant wizard from Kid Icarus. But yeah, this boss can try to suck you in. I don't know if it'll kill you automatically or just really hurt you. But I'm not going to give him that opportunity because I've got invincibility on. And now we face the final boss of the game, Nightmare King, or at least coming up in a sec here. But you have these stingrays or something that you gotta watch out for. They take several hits, so it's best to just try to completely avoid them if you can help it. One of these days I'll probably have to check out the anime Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. Or was it just Little Nemo in Slumberland, one of the two? And you see these big clawed hands. The boss will have those clawed hands coming up here. Yeah, that's kind of unimaginative. They just call them whatever round boss instead of actually giving them a name. But you gotta watch out for these hands because they'll eventually try to grab you. And you can actually hurt the hands. I don't know if you can completely destroy the hands. And Nemo, Capcom had a number of games that they were some sort of licensed movie or cartoon or something. They also did Willow and DuckTales and Tailspin and a bunch of other shows for the NES. And they had great music, great action, pretty good graphics. And there's Nemo and the Princess and the King. Yeah, if you play as the second player, Flip, who is kind of a clown, he has a cane, but he acts pretty much the same as Nemo. Moves the same, jumps the same, attacks the same. He can do a crawl move. But that was Nemo. based on the character Little Nemo from Little Nemo in Slumberland, which was an anime film in Japan in 1989 and released in the US like a few years later, I think. And Nemo was originally a comic strip character in the US from 1905 to 1927. But this was just simply titled Nemo, created by Capcom in 1990 for the arcades, and suggested by YouTube user Arctic Dreamers Rapture. And yeah, I'm getting back to some requests before I decide to re-upload my 20 from the 80s and 90s series. So I'll be quite busy with that for a long time. But like I said, a handful of requests I can get to real quick. Once again, hope you had a great Memorial Day. And here's a little epilogue here. Nemo, Nemo, wake up. In my dream, And he runs off and leaves something behind there. I'm not sure what that is. But that's the end. And yeah, we'll look at a little of Player 2, Flip the Clown. And this is kind of cool. When you put in your initials, you see this 3D word Nemo comprised of little Nemo heads. Almost got a million there. But yeah, there's Flip. And yeah, they basically have the same attack. You don't want to get pinned by the overpass there. I don't think you'll get killed, but you'll get hurt at least. But yeah, you can accrue increasing bonuses by hopping on one enemy after another. But that was Nemo by Capcom in 1990. Hope you had a great Memorial Day, folks. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Nemo by Capcom in 1990, based on the mostly the anime film from 1989, Little Nemo in Slumberland. Have a good one, everybody, and I will see you later in the future with another request. Happy Memorial Day. Bye-bye.